I'm Chris, 47 club runner, and it's a really exciting time. We've been training for this marathon. It's only around the corner. Like me, I've been waiting for the London Marathon, or not waiting, wanting to do the London Marathon since I was 10 years old. The music, every time I hear that tune, goosebumps on my arms. My dad used to run it, love watching it every year, and it's 37 years later, and this is my chance. So really looking forward to it. So I don't want to blow it by not tapering. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why we taper and how I taper. Right, so why do we taper? Well, during these training blocks, regardless of how long it is, we are pushing our bodies to the limit and we're on the verge of breaking. You know, quite a lot of the time we're picking up niggles here and there. So the most important part of the taper is making sure that we get ourselves on that start line. Doesn't mean we need to wrap ourselves up in cotton wool, sit on the sofa, eating popcorn and Netflix. We could do that afterwards when we're recovering. So we want to reduce the stress on our body. We want to be fresh on race day with maintaining our fitness. So I'm going to go through the 3 weeks that I do on my tapering. Some of you may do 2 weeks that I like to do before a big race. So if you want to start at 3 weeks out, that's completely up to you. I'm doing it because I could feel the volume in my legs and I just think it's safer for me to get myself on the start line at London. And so I like to reduce the mileage by between 10 and 20%. So I normally run a 50-mile week, so I'll be reducing it to 45 to 40 miles this week, just so the body can get used to that kind of lower mileage rather than, you know, it's been used to that high mileage week in, week out. Also, you don't need to drop the intensity this week. So depending on how much intensity you put in, obviously depends on your volume that week. So I like to do a goal pace run, whether it be 8 to 10 miles, just to give you that kind of confidence booster this week, and also get myself down on the track. So whether you're doing, you know, 5 1K repeats, just to get your legs turning over, get some speed in the legs. And as I say, that confidence booster is huge going into, you know, your race. Also, you know, if you, like myself, going to do park run this weekend, I'm not going to go all out, but it just means that I will drop it to the kind of bottom end, you know, of 20% off, because my intensity is obviously increased higher. So it's completely up to what you do on the 3rd week. It's not going to make a massive difference. You should have got your long run, you know, the long run out the way last week. You don't want to be doing that and really fatiguing yourself, because obviously that does take a lot out of you. Also, you want to be testing out your gear at this stage. Your vest, make sure, you know, it's not going to rub on your nipples. Your shorts, make sure they fit. Your flip outs with all your gels in. Shoes, you should have worn them. Socks, you know, all this sort of stuff you should have tried out before. You don't want to come race day, try something new, and you end up regretting it. So 2 weeks out, we're going to start dropping the volume and the intensity, just obviously to help us be fresher for race day. So we're going to drop the mileage between 25 and 30% this week, lower in intensity, and we're going to be looking at around, if you're doing 50 miles, we're looking at about 35 miles for this week. We'll all have one run during the week, probably try the, you know, goal pace just to get our kind of legs used to it, but no more than kind of 4 to 6 miles. But if you normally run 5 days a week, try and stick with that just to spread that over. If you run 6 days a week, obviously do the same, because it's worth just keeping into that kind of routine before. Finally, the kind of longest run that I'll be doing on that week would probably be about 10 to 13 miles or so. I'm not going to overdo it and put additional strains on my body. Right, so 1 week to go. We're dropping the intensity and we're dropping the volume. We're not going to do anything quick this week, but we're not going to be lazy. And like I said before, sit on the sofa, watching Netflix and eating. So it's important this week that, you know, we stay as fresh as we can for race day. And so how do you work out the mileage this week? Well, typically it'd be 30% volume of your mileage. So mine would be around about 35, but you need to take into account you're running a marathon. So that's 26 miles already taken for the week. So what I like to do is just do 10 miles, but it'd be 4 miles on the Tuesday, very easy. 4 miles on the Thursday, very easy. And then just 2 miles, including strides, on the Saturday. And the reason I do that is just sometimes that, I don't know if you found, if you take a few days off before the run, come race day, your legs are heavy. And also what it does, it just gets rid of those butterflies, dust off the cobwebs so you're ready to go on race day. Other tips that are really important is that you get good sleep the week before. That's key. Make sure you're very hydrated. So leading up a few days before, obviously make sure you drink a lot of water and make sure that your fueling's correct. So, you know, lots of pastas, you know, the meals that are going to give you good energy returns. There are gels out there that you can take before, and just make sure that you're not stressing yourself out. You know, what will be will be. Trust in your plan and you will smash it. Anyway, let me know how you get on. Onwards and upwards. Cheers.